the ongoing.
I can already tell this shit is going to be good.
Drama, legal drama.
It's going to be good.
Drama, social drama that's been going on. There are two sides of this Vic Mignogna situation, which I think has gone maybe a little bit beyond Vic himself and has become more about a cultural battle. But Vic, of course, is he's the linchpin of it, right? He's what's bringing this all to a head. I am openly supporting Vic. I am running his GoFundMe, and Shane is on the other side of that, but I don't know the extent of your involvement. So.
By the way, I am keeping an open mind about this, by the way. Like, I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'm going to see what he has to say before I put my 2 cents in.
You'll have to give us the background and tell us a little bit about you, sir, because I have only seen you on Twitter a couple times, so that's...
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so I am... for a living, because people have been asking, I'm a senior system engineer working for a large corporate real estate company doing random stuff. I run conventions on the side and have so for 28 years. I am on the opposite side of you mostly. I am the person who is basically wanting Vic to make a comeback, but he's not making a comeback. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Okay, so you're wanting Vic to make a comeback.
I am wanting Vic to make a comeback.
Can you describe that a little bit? Because I don't...
Absolutely.
Sure.
So, I have actually known Vic. I mean, we're not friends or anything. But I've actually known Vic for, at least 10 years. He's a great guy. As I've said numerous times on Twitter, he is one of the nicest guys in the world when you meet him. I've hung out with him backstage in operations numerous times. So it's not like just like walk up to his table, meet and greet. I've actually written his contracts for cons. I've signed paychecks to Vic. Vic is a sweet guy. However, over the years, he has had some issues. Over many years, he's had some issues that many people are aware of. And so I am in the position that I would like Vic to make a comeback. And it's not like just I think it's going to take a lot of PR. I think it's going to take some very strategic workings of a PR firm to bring him back, but I think that it's possible.
PR? Why?
I'm also
There's already people that want him back.
Certain things are happening right now on the internet and around the community and around the world, specifically in this country, that are preventing him from having a comeback and are making his brand more toxic. And so that is basically my position right now.
What is he talking about?
Gotcha.
His brain more toxic or his fans more toxic?
That's an interesting position. I think that's a long shot saying that Vic gets to come back through the work of a PR firm, but that's my opinion. So here's what brings us together tonight. I have been discussing potential legal strategies.
This guy already kind of seems off the hinges.
People have, of course, doubted me as a legitimate lawyer, which is weird because you can find me pretty simply if you know where to look. Now, help me out with something. Are you the guy who went to the MSBA website, couldn't find me, and was questioning my credentials? Is that you who posted that?
I did post it. I did not go look it up. It was actually something sent to me, and someone was talking about you, so I posted it saying, I would like to see this guy's credentials, that he is a lawyer. Or that he's a licensed lawyer. So,
sure.
and what I would like to do, if it's okay with you, I mean, this is your show, so you make the rules, but what I would like to do is I want to get some clarification first on who we both are.
Okay.
Because I am confused at this moment in time. So as far as I know, you're on Vic's side. I've seen some of your videos.
Sure.
You started the GoFundMe for Vic.
Yep.
And you've reached out to Vic and parts of his law firm, and you've gotten the GoFundMe approved. Absolutely, it's approved, and part of it.
I'm sorry, if this guy is already asking questions, he obviously doesn't know all the answers. Like, he obviously doesn't know what he's talking about. Already.
Have you, in fact, talked to Vic or his attorneys about any strategies, about anything about their legal strategies going forward?
I am not aware of what their legal strategy is going forward.
Okay. Has Vic at any point whatsoever told you personally, or his law firm told you personally, that he is suing specifically in wide range? Has he ever said he is specifically suing anyone, or has his law firm said they're specifically suing anyone? Or is this your best guess in your position?
I am not aware of Vic's legal strategy. No one has communicated it to me. I don't know if they've even fully formulated it. My position, as I've stated in multiple videos, is that this is what could be done. This is what I would do if I was going scorched earth on someone and had the resources to do it.
Okay, cool. Then let's have a conversation about that.
Okay.
See, he doesn't know. He doesn't know.
So I'm here to have that conversation. What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Like personally, so recently. Well, actually, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, but let's start with the first one. So there is a.
Sorry, Critter.
Give me a second. Let me decide which one I want to talk about first.
Okay.
You know what? Let me just go ahead and put this back.
God, this guy takes so long. He doesn't know.
I'm behind the scenes at conventions, and I see a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes conventions worldwide. I see a lot of stuff in the Funimation world behind the scenes worldwide.
Okay.
I have personally written contracts for Vic. I posted them online, like screenshots showing that I've written his contracts. I have personally held in my hand Funimation employment contracts. I have seen tons of stuff that I'm just going to assume, I don't know for a fact, but I'm just going to assume that I have personally seen or written many things that you have personally never seen. And I'm not going to question your expertise in law at all at this moment. What I am going to say, though, is I have talked to people who are close to Vic. And I have talked to people who are against Vic. And my impression at this exact moment is there is a large internet crowd which is very much hurting any chance Vic has to come back. Because, and I'm just going to explain my position here for a second.
What is he talking about?
We have people,
He has a big chance of coming
into your specific video, watching your YouTube videos, and then running off to all the voice actors, harassing them nonstop, and pretty much everything.
Again, no one's harassing anybody.
Every day for the last 2 weeks has been, Vic is doing this, Vic is doing that, Nick told me so. Or, oh my God, go look at this internet lawyer because this is what is actually happening. And I'm sitting there trying to be the voice of reasoning, saying, wait, hold on just a second.
First of all, it was not all of Nick. It was not all Nick that said this. This all happened on Twitter.
This is not all of your viewers. Absolutely not. You have some viewers who really love Vic. They are really supportive of Vic, and they really want Vic to get through this. However, you also have a group of viewers who are taking the very slightest essence of what you said, twisting it, and running off into the world and spreading that message. And unfortunately, those are the people who have the loudest voices. And those voices,
that's pretty coincidental, isn't it? That they have the loudest voices? How would that work out?
Because they're the ones who are out there constantly, nonstop, talking every day after day, 24/7, spreading their message. Oh my God, Vic is going to sue Jamie. Vic is going to sue Jamie. I know Vic is going to sue Jamie. Wait till you get in court, Jamie. I know Vic is going to sue Jamie. Monica, you're so fucking screwed. Monica, you're screwed. Oh my God, Funimation's
Well,
going down.
why don't you explain it
Vic's going to own Funimation.
instead of bitching about it?
And it all comes from the fact that they watch your video.
No, no, motherfucker. It comes from the fact that we saw this all on Twitter. It comes from the fact because the people that are accusing Vic all came on Twitter, and they said some stupid shit.
In their minds, they want something to be true, and you're telling them what could be, but they're taking it as this is what is actually happening, and they're running out into the world, and they're spreading this message, and I kid you not, they are destroying Vic's representation, Vic's rep with the convention community, and that's where he makes all of his money. I mean, Funimation Actors, which is what Vic was, he's an independent contractor. Those those guys are fucking poor. Trust me, I dated one for years. Those guys are poor.
God, that guy's
They
this,
only go
that
400
guy's a fucking asshole.
when they can actually get, when they can
He
actually
dated one for years. No, I mean, no wonder that relationship didn't last very long.
They beg to get voice acting work. They try their best. They stress everything to get voice acting work, and they finally get it. And Vic has been doing this for a long time, and he gets roles because he has a really amazing voice. But that's not where they make their money. They don't make their money voice acting. They make their money by going out and doing these appearances at conventions and selling autographs and talking with fans and their appearance fees. And what is happening right now is we have this group of internet people, like the ones who are some of the people who are on Jamie's feed and Monica's feed, who are going out, causing havoc, going to conventions, causing havoc at conventions.
Okay, the good news is it only lasts for like an hour or two. Like an hour.
Than it ever would have been had they just stayed away.
God,
so
this
you're
guy.
suggesting
This guy, isn't it? Oh my god, this guy is so stupid.
my show,
I might have to skip ahead like 10 minutes just
taking
for him to get to the point.
legal strategy, and then they are somehow damaging Vic's brand beyond an effort that has been running online since January 16th to paint Vic as a sexual predator of underage girls.
There's been an effort that's been going on.
Hold on. Whoa, chill out.
Sorry.
I will be very courteous to you. However, if I give you 10 minutes to talk, I will take my time to talk too. So, you're suggesting that that after Vic has been kicked out of, I believe, 18 conventions on absolutely zero empirical evidence, zero even circumstantial evidence. You have anonymous Twitter people online, and then you have testimonies from 3 identifiable people. Jesse Pridemore, who apparently has accused someone of rape, and oh dear God, I hope she is right, because if she's not right and accused a man of rape, that would be a problem. But you have Jesse Pridemore, whose story has largely been discredited.
He's Googling her.
Archie's story, and you have Monica Rial's story. All three of which have very similar, shockingly similar stories. Almost like stories that they want to be so similar to give credibility to the story itself. So you're going to tell me that people are coming onto my stream, they're watching me say, you know what, Vic could sue these people, and believe me, oh my God, if I were in a dreamland, Jamie Marchi and Monica Rial would have had papers last week. They would have had papers the moment they opened their mouths on Twitter. Jamie Marchi said she wanted his head and his balls. I could put actual malice on that chick today. I could put actual malice on that chick on February 8th. I think when she posted that, she was done then. So yeah, absolutely Vic could sue her. Make no mistake. But you're saying that after these women came out with these accusations which don't have dates, don't have specific locations, don't have times, don't have corroborating witnesses.
That's all true.
Have gotten him fired from his Texas jobs and have gotten him removed from 17 conventions. That people coming off of my show and saying that, you know what, Vic could sue these people for defamation, that is tarnishing his brand? Are we in Realityville here? You think that is tarnishing his brand more than women who are saying, listen to hundreds of women, of which there are not hundreds of stories, by the way. There are maybe.
This Shane guy is fucking Googling it. He's fucking Googling it. He has no idea.
But you're saying that sexual harassment, sexual misconduct allegations, those didn't damage his brand irreparably. It's random people on the internet saying, hey, Jamie Marchi, prepare to get sued because some lawyer I watched on YouTube said you probably could be. That's damaging his brand. I firmly disagree.
So let me go over a couple of your points here real quick. So you brought up the conventions. Let me ask this question. Have you actually talked personally to any conventions and talked to them and discussed with them the reasons why they canceled Vic's contract? 18 conventions is what you mentioned. Have you talked to any of them and discussed why they canceled his appearance?
Why would I talk to 18 conventions, and why in God's name would they talk to mean, I know a
Okay.
bunch of people are
Wait,
completely.
so right there.
Hold
so
on.
wait, no,
Don't forget
it's my
whose.
turn.
Don't forget whose show you're on, buddy. Do not forget that
So
you
you
are
don't
on my
know
show.
why. You don't know why they canceled his appearance.
I don't care why. I don't care why they.
Oh, you don't care why? Okay, good.
What? Here's the thing. Have you say you've watched?
This guy has no idea that we're not actually talking about conventions.
Other than Pensacon.
Red Skull.
TikTok.
Hey, I'm listening to you talking about all the conventions in your massive conspiracy. Are you not going to back it up now? You just said massive conspiracy.
You're not listening. You said massive conspiracy. I said a legal conspiracy which involves two or more people furthering a tort. Are you going to disagree with that? By the way, you said, hold on. You said you weren't going to question my legal expertise on this stream, I guess, which is weird because you've been questioning my legal expertise on Twitter, on Discord. You said flatly, Nick doesn't know what he's talking about. Back it up.
Nick doesn't know what he's talking about.
Back it up. Question any legal strategy I have mentioned.
The legal strategy is going around telling your viewers what actually happens in a guest contract at a convention when you've never seen one.
I have not said what happens in a guest contract.
We're talking about what happens.
Hold on. You just said that I said what happens in a guest contract at a convention. I have never stated what has happened.
Boom. Got him.
I said, I've never seen one of those. I've never seen one.
Sorry, I keep.
No, why would I need one? I'm not his
So
lawyer.
you're making a wild conspiracy theory about why he was fired.
It's not a conspiracy theory. It's legal conspiracy is two or more people furthering a tort. We have Kaylin Saucedo. We have the other people from Channel Awesome writing articles. We have Kaylin Saucedo specifically stating that she has friends at Funimation. And in that time frame, her friends at Funimation, after her creation of a hashtag, this is enough evidence to bring a charge of civil conspiracy. All it takes, two people. I know you don't know this because you think you're a legal expert, but you're not. And you keep saying, I'm not, but buddy, I am. And you have legal conspiracy. You're saying big conspiracy theory as if there's a bunch of people smoking in a back room with cigars, low lights, speakeasies, and whiskey going, you know what, we gotta take down Vic Mignogna. No, a legal conspiracy applies to two parties furthering a tort. We have so much evidence for multiple legal conspiracies. I know that we have plenty of evidence because, one, there was an investigation. There's an investigation. You understand there was an investigation, right? One that came up inconclusive. That was from an IO9 article, and then apparently, allegedly, a second investigation.
I'm sorry, stop. I'm not going to let you sit here and roughshod over this, especially when you start speaking up about things that you may not know about. How are you aware that a Funimation investigation or any investigation was affected by IO9?
Because they published it.
The IO9 article reported that the initial Funimation investigation was inconclusive, which came from a Funimation employee. Then there was allegedly a second Funimation investigation because Funimation said, following an investigation, we have decided to cut all ties with Vic. I know it because that is what has been stated. Now, if someone lied, then that's not my problem.
Wait a minute. All of your speculation right now, and you've got fans right now going around the internet mentioning about how bunk these articles are. IO9 is, and all of these inappropriate, lying, horrible articles who are just out to slander Vic. And you're telling me that you, who are their leader right now, is basing his information off those exact same articles?
He's not the leader of anything.
Any kind of inside information? You don't have any kind of inside information behind Funny. You don't have any inside information about the contracts. You haven't actually talked to Vic's lawyers about legal strategy. You're basing your information off the same articles that these guys are going to James Page and trying to say that these articles are shit. You're basing your information off what your followers think are shit. Is that what you're telling me right now?
I'm very flattered that you call me the leader, but let's get something straight here. Have you ever brought litigation against someone? Because when you bring litigation against someone, you have to go off of available information, correct?
I have, yes.
Okay, so am I correct in stating that if you bring litigation against someone, you have a pool of available information, like statements that they made, maybe to news publication, that would be something you could use to craft your complaint, correct?
Oh, wait, stop. Hold on. Just to make sure we're actually on the same page.
I mean,
What
this
are
is
we
a
going to court
simple
for?
question.
I understand it is simple. What are we going to court for? There's a billion things that they could actually go to court for and sue for. Let's take Funimation. Vic is
Hold
going
on,
to sue
hold on, hold on.
This guy is going around the question. Why doesn't he answer the question?
Far off tangent
Because
from
you're trying
no,
to
no,
get-
no, no,
you're
no.
trying-
I'm trying to get you to say whether or not, when you are bringing any litigation of any kind, if you are to use available information, like that is available to the public, like maybe something someone said in a journalistic publication, for example, or maybe something someone said to another person who can corroborate that statement, or are you supposed to use information that you do not have access to, like maybe an internal investigation report? Which one do you use when you go on to bring litigation?
When you go to bring litigation, there's going to be discovery, and you're going to grab the
Okay.
information.
Oh my God! You don't just get discovery, like you have to make a complaint that has to survive 1, sua sponte dismissal for failure to state a claim, and 2, potentially a motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim, and then you get discovery. You have to allege a particular amount. You have to allege a particular set of facts that create enough of a controversy to get you there. And you have to do that on publicly available information because you do not have access to other stuff. Yes, you get to discovery and you might be able to add more. It's almost like I made several videos talking about this process, but I'm just not sure. So answer the question, when you bring litigation, do you go off of information that is available publicly, or do you go off of information that is behind some sort of door that you don't have access to? Which one do you do?
When you actually go into litigation, you actually go and you actually subpoena the information. You get information that's public and private.
You don't just get to subpoena information. You have to have cause. You have to have some level of articulable claim, and you have to make that claim of fact. You don't get to do
God,
it. It's Iqbal versus
he
Faulkner.
is fucking annihilating him. Like,
Hey, wait,
this guy has no idea what he's doing. But Nick here, he's fucking annihilating him.
And here you are missing a very basic step. The first step of litigation is to bring claims against someone. You have to draft a complaint. Yes, you do. You have to draft a complaint and hand it to somebody. You have to serve them, or you have to file it in court and get a sub.
You have to decide what kind of litigation you're bringing.
Civil litigation. What are you talking about?
There's a million civil litigations. What are you bringing?
Literally all of them start with a complaint.
Oh my
Every
God.
single one.
You can't
Okay,
just
what's the
provide
alternative process? Come on, bring me the alternative process than a complaint and summons, buddy. What is it?
You can't even decide what kind of litigation that you're
What
bringing
is the
against-
other process than summons and complaint for bringing civil litigation? What is it? You're such an expert. What is it?
Let's back up because
No, answer the question.
God, this is so embarrassing. This is so fucking embarrassing. Oh my God.
you can't even answer what you're actually going
Oh
to
my
court for.
God, you are embarrassing. Answer the question. Without a summons and complaint, how do you bring a civil suit?
What is Vic suing for?
It doesn't matter. Literally every. Okay, fine. Tortious interference with business prospects. How do you bring a complaint with? How do you bring?
Let's do this.
Oh my God! Please answer the question now. How do you bring suit other than a summons and complaint?
Alright, let's do this. Tortious interference with a business. You're going to bring a complaint saying that a business...
You're going to bring a complaint? Is that what you just said? Answer me. Please, dear God, answer me.
Are you just going freaky right now because you're frustrated?
You're the most...
Are you frustrated right now?
Are you frustrated? He has no idea what he's talking about.
Answer the question. Answer the question. You won't even answer it. Did you say you bring a complaint?
I did say
Okay, thank God.
He files suit against a company. You have stated now, and I've been asking for 10 minutes about what kind of suit are you filing. Now we're filing a suit, tortious interference against a business. Let's go. Tortious interference of a business.
Okay, how do you file that suit? Is it with the summons and complaint? The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
I'm so embarrassed for this Shane guy.
Yes. There is no other way to.
I'm sorry. I don't know why. I feel bad for the Shane guy. Like, he's kind of dumb.
Let's go over it.
Good for me.
It's like he's talking to a rock.
Let's go over it. Let's go over my hypothetical one cause of action that I mentioned to get you to answer one question. Okay.
So Vic is going to sue for tortious interference of a business contract.
I don't know, but he could.
Oh.
Not of a business contract. I said a prospective business.
Okay.
Sorry, that's my computer.
Business, not even actual prospective business?
Yes, that's a cause of action in Texas. It falls under a broad category of civil actions called corporate or business defamation.
Oh, so Vic is also egotistical now. Great. Okay, let's do it. So Funimation is going to so Vic is going to sue Funimation, saying that they are interfering with potential business that he may have. Let's go for it. How is Vic going to sue Funimation, saying that they are intentionally interfering with a business opportunity that he has? Go.
Okay, how you bring this cause of action? The elements are that a business, in the course of business, makes a statement or does an action that causes damage to someone's brand in the form of something like defamation. There are other potential causes of action, but we'll go with business defamation, like potentially saying that an internal investigation came up about harassment, for example, came up that after that investigation they decided to cut ties, and then adding a subtext, a second comment which doesn't make any sense from any legal capacity of saying that we do not condone or support harassment or targeting of any kind. For example, let's just say that. Then maybe 17 conventions disinvite Vic following that. I think we can go ahead and suggest, for the purposes of the complaint at least, that we can say that Funimation made a statement that caused Vic damage. The only thing that we would have to prove would be actual malice, which can be alleged in the complaint and sought through discovery. Yes, I think I could have written that weeks ago. I could certainly write it today. I could have that in the mail by tomorrow if I were representing Vic and that was the cause of action that was correct.
You probably could, but you're not representing Vic, and there's probably a reason for that. So let's just go over.
Yes, I'm in Minnesota. I'm not licensed in Texas. I'm a solo practitioner. I don't have the firm. I don't have.
What is wrong with this guy? He says, yeah, there's probably a good reason for that. Like he's not qualified.
15 different parties, including a multi-billion-dollar company called Sony or a multi-hundred-million-dollar called Funimation. I don't do that type of
I'm in
litigation
Minnesota.
from the middle of central Minnesota. I primarily do.
You don't personally have that kind of finances available, which means you actually obviously don't understand how lawsuits actually work. It's not you paying for it. Like, let's go ahead and go on with this. So
Hold on. You're suggesting. This is you right now. Let me just go ahead and point out. You're suggesting that Vic should maybe consider hiring a solo practitioner who does small civil litigation in central Minnesota to take his case, which might be filed in Denton County, Texas, which might be filed in the Eastern District or Northern District of Texas, and maybe has suits in the Southern District of California. You're suggesting that it's because I lack some sort of resources or something. I don't even know what you're trying to say, because that statement, you said there's a reason. No, you said there's. Listen,
you're not his counsel.
the reason I'm not Vic's counsel is because there is no reason for me to be Vic's counsel. It would be absolutely silly. It would be patently absurd to hire a solo practitioner in a state 1,000 miles away to do a complex.
Talk to his lawyers, doesn't know the strategy, doesn't know
He just said what.
I have an attorney-client relationship with Vic, you brainlet. I can't.
So you don't know shit about what Vic is doing.
I've never claimed to. I've never once claimed to.
Right there.
What?
Right there. Right there. That's all.
What?
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. This has been embarrassing for you. I've never claimed to know what Vic is doing. I've said this is what I would do if I had these resources. This is a strategy someone could take.
You're not doing this for me. I didn't take this interview so I could talk to you about this. I'm taking this interview so that there was a video clip of you admitting that you had absolutely no idea what was going on with this lawsuit, and everything that you're saying is speculation. That was it. That was the entire reason I got on this.
Way to do what you could have done by just going to the beginning of any of my other videos and saying, look, here's him saying he's not Vic's lawyer. You could have just gone to the GoFundMe page. I am not representing Vic in a legal capacity.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I saw it. I wrote it. The big gotcha is that I'm not representing Vic. What a win for you.
Like, does this Shane guy, like, does he not compute? Like, I feel like he doesn't compute. I feel like there's something wrong with him, like, mentally. Like, this Shane guy, like, oh my god, he's giving me, like, he's killing my brain cells.
Well, he put it on Twitter,
like, really?
5 minutes before the show started. He replied to you.
Hold on. First of all,
Hold on. Wait.
First of all, don't lie, because I posted that 30 minutes before the meeting.
You said there was an hour to go. You said there was an hour to go on your oh my god.
Are you ignorant? Go check Twitter.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh my god. You're so ignorant, and you just make shit up for your fans.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
30 minutes.
30 minutes ago, you said, okay, that was, someone who's never seen a guest or funny contract will attempt me to school me. Yeah, you gotta go to...
Exactly. You already admitted that part.
No, go to the one where you, put out the bet.
Where was that at? Let's see. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Oh, well,
Let's see. Where
I mean,
was that at?
get ready.
I haven't been wrong so far tonight. I mean, you're exactly what I think you would be.
Haven't been
You already admitted that you didn't know shit about what Vic is doing. I mean, you just every argument that we've been having on Jamie's thread for the last 2 weeks.
He says he hasn't been wrong so far tonight, but he really hasn't said anything.
2 hours, so 9:57 p.m. my time. Bet in the office. Here, I'll screen share it for you. We'll just go ahead and share. Focus on here. 9:57 p.m. 24th of February. Bet in the office is that Nick has an excuse and cancels at the last minute. Who wants on it? That's an hour before showtime. An hour and 3 minutes, technically. 47 minutes ago, $1,000 says Nick shows. Can I take this bet? Show more replies. Guns for your freedom. No one wants in? 1 hour left. It's your stupid words. It's your words. 1 hour ago.
You know what?
I'll take that. $500 cool. I'll bet you.
Hey. You know what? I'm like you. I'm going to admit when I'm wrong, and so I guess I owe one person $1,000. I owe 2 people $500. I mean, I'm like you. I'm willing to admit when I'm wrong.
Well, they'll be expecting checks.
I mean, I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. You know.
Are you gonna pay them?
What?
Are you gonna pay them?
I will absolutely work on paying those guys. I will find that screenshot, and I will absolutely look at doing that.
You realize you just called me a liar over that, right? Like you said I'm a liar because I was taking your words, and just pointing them out to you. And you deigned to call me a... Well, I mean, you've been mistaken quite a bit.
Are you still upset about the fact that I just found out and you admitted live on this national stream that you don't know the first thing about what's going on with Nick, and all this entire stream that you do is all speculation?
I say speculation every stream. How are you this embarrassingly bad at this?
The cool thing is I already talked to someone earlier.
This guy, oh my god, like, he's giving me, like, he's giving me cancer. He's giving me cancer.
Oh my god, join 200,000 people who know that what I talk about is speculation because they watch me say, I I'm not Vic's attorney. This is what I would do if I had the chance.
I want you to keep saying it over and over and over again so it gets into their heads.
Okay.
Just keep saying it. This is all speculation.
I can't wait for you to make a super cut as a gotcha.
No, I'm just waiting for you to keep saying over and over again that you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, buddy. Now let's get to it. Let's get to it, because we were. Did you forget what we were here to discuss? You said. You said.
Okay, here we go. Here's my question for you. You're going to sue.
No, I'm not going to sue anybody. Remember?
Not you. Now, so Vic's law firm is going to sue Funimation for interfering with a business contract, and you yourself brought up conventions, which is where his money comes in at. So I would like you to explain to me how he goes to court, any court whatsoever, in or out, any kind of litigation, and explains to a court and files a claim saying that Funimation fired him, made a statement online, which they did, and the second tweet of that statement made a claim about sexual harassment. It was a different tweet from when they said he was fired, but the second tweet said we don't condone sexual harassment. I would like you to explain to me and all the viewers and everyone listening online at home how it is that he goes to court and says that that tweet was the cause of him losing the income with any convention in this country, when you don't know, nor does he, why the convention canceled his contract under their lawful termination agreement in their contract. How does he explain that was the cause of it? Because if he doesn't, and he cannot prove malice intentional interference with the contract, he cannot use TI for business. He has to prove that comment is the reason.
He's like trying to make a point, but he doesn't realize Vic is not going to sue Funimation. He's going to sue the people that made these false allegations.
Explain it to me, please.
Okay, if you're done reading Wikipedia about
I'm not
Torsh's...
even you want a screenshot? I'm looking at your face in Discord. I'm not looking at Wikipedia. This is off the top of my head. Go
Okay,
for it.
good. That is at least a little bit reassuring. Okay, first of all, you're talking about tortious interference with a contract, which requires knowledge of which requires actual knowledge of a contract and an intent to interfere with that specific contract. I'm talking about business or corporate defamation, which is tortious interference with business prospects. Now, that is a separate cause of action in Texas, and when it involves business defamation, you don't actually need to know about the contract. And if you show actual malice, which you would allege based on the statements of various VAs from Funimation, you would allege actual malice, especially considering some of the VAs have admitted to being part of an investigation, and those VAs have subsequently shown themselves to fabricate evidence of swattings and other things. Okay, you would mention actual malice, you would allege it, hope to find it on discovery. I'm guessing if you go through enough corporate communication, you can find that there was an effort prior to the release of Broly to remove Vic. That effort failed, and then there was a second effort to remove Vic after the release of Broly, which succeeded. That's pretty easy. Now, you don't have to have knowledge of any specific contract in business defamation, because when you impugn a business's ability to conduct business within its trade or within its market, damages are presumed, because you don't know which contracts
I'm actually learning a lot from this live stream.
Or not affected. So no, you don't have to prove a specific, and before you jump in at the end of this, there's a further statement, because I'm going to head off the argument you're going to make. But you don't have to prove a specific convention dropped him for this statement or for any other statement, because any number of conventions might have sent him a letter of invitation, even ones that weren't mentioned, even ones that aren't part of the 17. That's why you presume damages, because there's no way to understand the scope of damages that are caused by business defamation. It's called defamation per se, negligence per se. It's as a matter of law. You don't have to prove damages. However, even if you wanted to go into each and every con that dropped him and bring a cause of action for tortious interference with a contract, a specific contract, you could get past that. Because in Texas, even if there's an exit clause, because I know you threw that in there as some sort of gotcha, but in Texas specifically, under Texas Supreme Court decisions, even if there is a cancellation or termination clause, up until the moment it's terminated, tortious interference still applies. So even if you give a valid reason for them to cancel a contract, and they cancel a contract, but the communication was done with actual malice and was not privileged, you still have tortious interference because you're in Texas. And because you're in Texas, truth isn't a defense. But I'm not the one who knows this, right? You certainly have a counter-argument within the jurisdictions we're talking about, correct? It wouldn't be that way in Arkansas, in Louisiana, in Alabama, in Washington, D.C., in New York State, in California, but it is in Texas. So, please, tell me now where I'm wrong, since you're the expert.
I'm sorry, I actually wasn't paying attention to all of that.
How embarrassing you are. You are the most embarrassing person I've ever seen. I just laid out exactly what you asked. I just laid out exactly.
They're saying right now that you look angry.
I am angry. You're wasting 4,400 people's time.
4,400? Wow.
This guy, he's not even answering the question. He's not even answering the question.
If that's your takeaway from this, okay.
Someone just said that maybe if you talk louder, you'll be right.
I right the entire time. You haven't shown a single shred of where I'm wrong.
You're not right about. You don't know anything about what Vic is doing. That's the end of it. You don't know anything about what Vic's doing. You're making wild conspiracy theories on the internet. You're making speculation. You don't even practice Texas law. You're not licensed in Texas.
And shockingly, I know so much more about it than you that it's sad.
And yeah, that's why you've been wrong every single time. That's why you've never seen a contract. You've never seen a contract for his employment. You've never seen a contract at a convention. You're assuming what actually happens in Texas law when it comes to contracts. You have never, as a matter of fact,
I'm telling you very clearly what happens in Texas law with contracts. You didn't even listen. You're too busy looking at Lolly or whatever you're doing. I don't know.
That was good.
You've never actually been to court in Texas for a convention contract ever in your life. You have never been to court in Texas for a contract for convention. I have. I've written the contracts. I've argued them in court. I've won in court. You've never done that. You're an internet lawyer in Minnesota doing a podcast trying to tell someone in Texas who writes these contracts and has won these contracts in court what the actual law is, and saying that
it's pretty easy.
I know, because I've watched your videos. You're the guy who gets online, argues what you think is going to be the case, and then when it's argued in the other favor, makes another video and says, this is why the court was wrong. That's what you do. You basically argue what you think it should be, and then when it's decided against you, you make videos saying why the court was wrong. That's all you do.
Which video did I argue where the court was wrong, where I thought it should go a different way?
You're basically an internet hack catering to really bad people.
Catering to the who? Catering to the who? Say it.
Catering to the really bad crowd.
No. Name it. Name who you wanted to name.
I was going to name the people who are defending blackface lawyer.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, good job. You win. Great.
Hey, you're a First Amendment lawyer. I respect you. You're a First Amendment lawyer. Absolutely. I have respect for you for standing up for First Amendment rights. No hate there. You do what you do. You're a First Amendment lawyer. You have a right to stand up for it. That's fine. That you're a lawyer. That's what lawyers do. Absolutely. There's no hate with you standing up for that as a lawyer.
No hate for it. It kind of sounds like there's some hate for it. Did you want to say it caters to the alt-right? You can say it.
He was about to say alt-right. He was.
Oh no, there's no safe spaces, honey.
Because you said caters to the alt, and then you stopped. Go ahead and say it.
I'm gonna say that you cater to. You're gonna cater to a branch of people that even some people on the alt-right are ashamed of. That's all I'm gonna say. That's what you do.
Sounds good. All right, now back to I name a thing, right? So I said tortious interference with business prospects. Then you said, how is he going to do this? Then I laid out literally step by step exactly how you do it in Texas, and you said, I wasn't listening. So why don't you go in and tell me where I was wrong?
Well, first of all, because tortious interference in business in Texas, that you actually can't do it. You can't just basically go to any random contract. In Texas,
you're confusing. This is so sad. You're confusing tortious interference with contracts and tortious interference with business prospects.
Okay, first of all, no, I'm not. We have already established that I'm the person who's actually been to court for contracts in Texas, and you have never done that. So,
and why am I so much more versed in it?
Obviously, you're not. I mean, obviously.
But he hasn't given a reasons on like what he's wrong about contracts.
Name where I'm wrong.
Yeah, name it. Like, say it.
I was just doing that before you interrupted me.
Okay.
I'm afraid of being embarrassed.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Tortious interference of a business in Texas. The company, if you were suing a company, you have to prove that that company intentionally meant to interfere with a contract out of malice.
Oh my God! No, that's tortious interference with contract,
Not
with business prospect. Look it up where? Where are you reading it from?
I understand that you're a YouTube podcast. Where can you at least look at Google before you come on these shows so you don't embarrass yourself?
Oh, buddy, take your own advice.
I did. Trust me, I did. Trust me, I did. And I'm coming on the show, and I am nobody. I am nobody. I'm nobody. I'm nothing. I'm not a lawyer. And I'm sitting here telling you the law in Texas, and you're a guy who didn't bother to do your research before you came on the show.
You have said so many times.
This is painful to watch.
You're laying out very well the elements of tortious interference with a contract.
With a business, but you keep interrupting me because you're afraid of getting embarrassed. And I could bring up the case law if you would like.
Go
unless
ahead.
Unless you don't want to be embarrassed on the internet.
Go ahead. Believe me, I have no fear of being embarrassed on the internet.
You obviously not. I mean, shit. I mean, people are already talking about this. This shit's getting spread around right now.
Good. Put it all out. You realize, of course, I do this publicly all the time.
I do realize, and I realize that there's a reason why you didn't go to me, and I realize why that you have been catering to the people you cater to, and I realize why you're putting up the conspiracy theories, and I understand. I know what it's like for someone, you know, I understand why you're doing what you're doing.
What you don't understand and how to do is answer a question, apparently.
Oh my God, this is so painful to watch. I'm sorry, guys. This is so painful to watch. I don't know if I can watch anymore. Because this guy, he's just going off. He's just... Oh my God, I don't know if... Because it's just really like 20 minutes of him like... I gotta skip around. I was gonna skip around for a second. This is really like a whole 2 hours of him just... Oh my God. Like, what is wrong with this guy? What is wrong with this guy? Like, what is wrong with this guy? I'll be right here. Let's see, right here. Yeah, we'll just stop here. Like, this guy goes, oh, well, you were wrong, blah, 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 blah. This guy is like, it's 2 hours of this guy going, well, no, you're wrong. Conspiracy theory. It's not conspiracy theory. It's the law. This guy doesn't know that it's the law. So I'm just gonna skip it ahead to like 20 minutes because I honestly, my head is really hurting listening to this guy. And also, I really feel bad for this Shane guy because he's that dumb. He's really that dumb. Like, he's really that fucking dumb.
What I will do right now is I will draft an email right this second.
Why don't you just invite him to 4 conventions? Why not? You keep leaving these little speeches. You're Vic's best friend. Hold on. No, the problem with this conversation is you're saying all of these things and never backing one up. You say you're
Yeah, that's why I skipped ahead for a minute, because I have a feeling that this guy couldn't back up anything. It's just 2 hours of this guy going, well, you're wrong. Like, but he doesn't explain why he's wrong.
You are just a petulant little jerk. And
You're the one being a
here,
jerk.
and I pulled up an email to Vic, and I'm sitting here telling you online, hey, let me go ahead and write an email to Vic, and let me go ahead and invite him to a con. But it doesn't work for your viewers. It doesn't work for your fan base.
You said you weren't going to invite him to a con.
I have the email up right now.
I'm just going off of what you said. I can't see your email, and I certainly don't want to.
No, you're not. You are doing this for viewers. Just admit it.
No, I'm not. I wasn't going to stream tonight. I don't usually do this on Sunday. You said, why don't you have me on and we'll talk about it? So I said, okay.
You're doing this for viewers. I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. At the end of the day, when Vic starts getting invited back to cons, and I'll tell you what. I'll tell all your viewers here right now, and there's some of your viewers may already know this, some don't. I'm going to write an email as soon as I hang up with you. And it is going to be from me personally to Vic, and I still have his email address from a year and a half ago when I sent him his last contract. And I will, right this second, send an email to Vic. And everyone at my convention sees it because it's public. I will send this email to Vic, inviting him to a con.
What con and what date?
Well, we haven't actually picked the dates for next year yet, but I'll go ahead and invite him to it. He doesn't actually need the dates just yet because we haven't decided on the video yet, but I'll go ahead and invite him to the con. It'll be in legal contract that I can go ahead and write with him because you're big on the contract things. I'll go ahead and send him an email.
Big on the contract things. Oh my god.
Dude, for someone who actually has no control over anything, stop getting so fussy. I will send him an email right now inviting him to a convention in 2019, and I will be the first person who is willing to give him a shot and bring him back, and I will start his PR Vic is Coming Back tour. I am more than happy to do that. I will be the person that does that. I'll send him an email tonight. You can go talk to Vic's law firm that you say that you talked to. Ask them, did they get a message from me under my name, and they're going to tell you yes.
Vic's law firm is going to get a message from you?
Vic is going to get a message from me, so I'm assuming if you talk to his law firm, they can ask him, and Vic will say, hey, I just got a message from Shane last night. You can go ahead and talk to his law firm, and they'll get a message from me.
Why don't you just... You could just type it up on...
Oh my god. This is fucking... Oh, my neck. Guys, this is so fucking painful. Like, this is so painful to watch. Like, I even skipped, like, almost 40 minutes of this video. This is so fucking painful. And this guy is still an idiot.
I'll tell you what. I will write this email, and then I will make a screenshot of the email after I send it, and I will screenshot it with the date.
Are we still talking about the stupid email?
And I will Twitter DM it to you, marking out Vic's email address. And I will Twitter DM the email to you so that you can see it, that I have sent an email to Vic personally, saying that he is invited to convention next year, and you can see all the rules behind it. I will do that tonight, and I will send it, and I will Twitter DM the screenshot of this email to you, and then if you don't believe me, or you think I'm faking it, you are more than welcome to call his law firm, have them talk to Vic, and ask them did he receive an email from me, and I guarantee you they will talk to him, and he will say, yeah, I got the email from Shane.
All right, which con? You don't have to give a date.
This one's actually called Mimikai Dallas. It is in Dallas, and Vic is in Dallas often. And I will send...
Oh my god, this guy, he's putting me to sleep.
As promised, not Santa.
Okay, here we go. I just wanted to get him, like, getting the tweets.
You mentioned earlier, there's a bunch of people watching. They're all talking about how this is going in the chat. I would love to see it, because there is a feature on YouTube called Super Chat, and there's a feature on YouTube called Justice Chat, where people can go ahead and send messages. So
I am sorry, but there's there's much like a lot of the convention owner chats that I'm involved in on, there are certain things that you are not allowed to see. And when I talk in Discord chat with the people,
What? No. I'm not talking about your chat. I'm talking about my chat.
Well, let's go ahead and see your chat.
Okay, I'm gonna start reading them. These are people who paid money to say something. Okay, so I'm burning through them. True American Hero says, have you ever played Titan Quest? Deep Penification says, I just have one thing to say. Hey Shane, Imo Shindiru. My Japanese is probably off. X Dalek says, the best lawyer on Twitter, ATM. Guns Beer Freedom says, Mr. Holmberg, if you are hearing this, read, it means Nick did not cancel and you owe me $500 for the bet you made on Twitter.
I heard that one earlier.
Please DM me and I'll provide myself. Do hurry, I have a gun show this weekend. Blaine says, as promised, not Sandow says, on time and heterosexual. Wargame 341 says, this case with Vic reminds me of the old case involving a metal band from Poland called Decapitated. They are accused of gang rape, which later came out the accuser lied, charges were dropped. Tech7Go says, hi Shane, hope you're doing well, and thank you for coming this evening to entertain us. But before I judge you as a man, I have to know one very important thing. Who's your favorite Chaos God? That's a Warhammer 40K question.
I never actually played.
Okay, then just pick Slanesh. That's a good one.
Alright, Slanesh.
Sakaki Onse says, ask him about tortious interference. Jay Baslinsky says, I already don't like this guy. Scary Things Are Scary says, what's with this guy? Slater Danger, do not trust this man. He's an ass on Twitter. Scary Things Are Scary says, screenshot this guy. Veggie Bad says, by harassment does he mean criticism? The Spaz Cow says, beta. Comes and goes, but it's in all caps, that's why I said it that way. Comes and goes says, be nice folks, let's hear his thought process. Wind Ghostman says, literally, no you. X Dalek says, my IQ dropped from hearing this guy speak. NW says, beta. Sir Aussie says, what a cucklord, honestly, like these people never have done anything hostile. I doubt that we are the loudest while they're loudly blaming us. These are from a while back. Vidmaster,
He's actually got it. He's actually. Can you read that last tweet again?
He says, what a cucklord, honestly, like these people never done anything hostile. I doubt that we are the loudest while they're loudly blaming us.
Well, I mean, I don't agree with the last part or the first part, but I mean, he actually has a point about. He actually has a very valid point, which is the only reason I would be willing to any way whatsoever entertain this notion. But he actually has a point. And there's a lot of things, a lot of your viewers, I don't know what the age group demographic of your viewers are, but I've been around this industry for well over 30 years at this point. I've been doing this for well over 30 years, and I'm going to have to agree with some of them that there was a point where that people hung out, partied, and stuff like that 20, 30 years ago. And there's actions that people engaged in, which, whether, I mean, they were never actually okay, but there's actions that people engaged in that they would never get called out on. I'm just going to put it that way. Whether you guys call it social justice work or whatever, there's ways that people behaved 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and there's things that you can't do anymore. And over the course of the last 20 years, society in itself has changed. There's a lot of things that people used to do. There's a lot of ways that people used to act. We used to be fucking fools like 20 years ago. We were fools. I was a fool. Nick was a fool. I mean, there's a lot of things we did 20-something years ago, which aren't okay today. I'm gonna leave it at that, and your viewers are gonna understand what I'm saying. There's things that people did, just their everyday behavior, which was the way that people acted back then, and it's not accepted anymore at all.
Okay.
It's not necessarily okay back then, but now it's definitely not okay. And unfortunately, my personal opinion and this is just my personal opinion, is that Vic is one of those people. I mean, he's 56 years old. I mean, me and Vic grew up in different times. Vic 30 years ago.
I just want him to stop talking.
And I don't want to get into the whole social justice warrior aspect of this.
But you are a social justice warrior.
What I am going to say is that
he is a social justice warrior, but doesn't realize.
Back then, 10 years, because you hear issues about Big from 10 years ago. Everyone's heard it. 10, 20. Everyone says it's been going on for a decade, and it has. What I'm going to say
it's been going on for a decade then.
What I'm going to say is that behavior that people have. There was a point where no one would actually say anything about it because it was just the way it was. And my personal opinion is that Dick has gotten caught up into a situation where the way that he's always been wasn't necessarily okay then, but it's definitely not okay now.
Gotcha.
I want to leave it at that.
Okay. Crackbot says, "Be careful, Nick. You are debating a potato." Let's see.
Do your fans really not want me to be helping Nick out because the insults aren't helping?
To be fair, these were 2 hours ago.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool.
All right. So next, Bitmaster Eon says, "Toxic is a telltale in PC sign. Create your own thoughts or buy a thesaurus." Siren Jag says, "Jersey Devil has a question asking which voice actor this guy dated. Jersey Devil says this could be very, very relevant."
It's not relevant. I'm not going to tell you.
There you go. Doobler says, "What a tool Vic would have," and again, these are from a while back, you have to remember. Because remember, you said that the chat was on your side, so I want to point that out. Doobler says, "What a tool Vic would have ended up like the ridiculously high number of other men whose reputations have been devastated by these victims. Justice, not social justice, must be allowed to prevail." Al says, "When did Monday Matt work for fun?" Funimation. Can't Rough the Fluff says, "This guy loves his tendies." That's a joke about tendies. When you kept saying attendees, that's just a pun. Richard Ty says, "Ooh, get him." The Spaz Cow says, "No lube, take it, soy boy." Andrew War Snowboard says, "This guy is worse than Jay Soy."
Why are you even reading some of this stuff on the air? Why are you reading some of these comments even on the air? These are the fans that you're okay with?
People paid to make them. That's just an agreement of the show. People pay to say stuff, and I go ahead and say it because they paid for it.
All right.
Vulpix says, "Stop fighting mom and dad." Vidmaster Eon says, "Conspiracy theorist is code for critical thinker." Xdalek says, "When you argue with a lawyer and your IQ is below average." Lance Bautista says, "This made my day." The Spaz Cow says, "Not sending their best." Rando number 9 says, "Press 1 to confirm Nick is our leader." Ren says, F YouTube's cut. This guy is a brainlet. Super Iron Bob says, "This guy is furthering my personal experience that the people who run fandom conventions should not be trusted." Comes and Goes says, "Uh-oh, he's going for the Destiny Shuffle." Oak 1971 says, "Finish him, Nick." Siren Jag says, "Nick is my buddy. He isn't my leader. This isn't Lord of the Flies yet." Sakaki Onsai says, "Good night, everyone. Shane has been owned like a piece of jewelry. Shane isn't a lawyer. He's a nozzle." Xdalek says, "This guy still thinks Nick is a fake lawyer." Happy Hobbit.
These guys said this 2 hours ago before they even actually saw the podcast.
This one says an hour ago. Well, it's an approximation. I don't know the exact timestamp. I'm just going by what my Streamlabs archives these. And so once it gets past a certain point in an hour, it would count as 2 hours ago. We're in an hour ago now, so somewhere between probably an hour and a half. Happy Hobbit says they're not sending their best. Amenti says, "Now this is pod racing." Richard Fitzwell says, "Wreck-It Rackets." James Mansfield says, "Bringing non-lawyers on just makes them look stupid." Rendrick says, "Please continue dry docking the smooth brain. YouTube made great again," says, "Burn him, Nick." Rax Hero says, "Jesus, this soy boy clapping needs to be..."
Our personal opinion is that you wasted all of our time at dodging nearly every question.
The Shane fellow looks like...
He directly admitted what he was accused of was false. He says that in the middle of the video, but I skipped it because I can't stand that part. I can't stand this guy. Like,
Different times at this point, and I understand that you're just in it for the money, and that's cool. I mean, I understand that's what you're in this for, but
You don't have
I'm
to
not gonna-
stay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to. Go ahead and finish talking to your listeners and making your money, and I'm pretty much out of here. I'm going to do my thing, and have a good night, sir, which, you know. Anyway.
Okay, he pretty much gets off that at the point. After that, he logs off, and there's at least 40 minutes that I skipped of this video of them talking. That's because the guy keeps going on and on like, oh, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And he goes, oh, well, we admitted that we did that we just wanted to get rid of Vic. It took him like 40 minutes to even say that. I'm sorry, man. I feel sorry for this Shane guy. Like, he really believes he knows what he's talking about. And, like, that's what's scary. Like, we live in a world where these people live with us. Like, yeah, I'm not saying anything too bad, but obviously he's not the brightest crown in the box. He obviously had trauma as a child. He probably was hit in the head and probably has memory loss. And I don't know. He doesn't have reasoning. He doesn't have, like, Nick has always said, like, oh, this is my speculation. This is what I think what would happen if I were to sue these people. And, like, for some reason when Shane came on the air, he was like, see, you said that. You said that on the air. And Shane's like, and Nick's like, I've always said that. So this Nick guy, he's like, I mean, this Shane guy, he's just like, I don't know, man. Like, this Shane guy is something else. Like, he's fucking dumber than, like, I don't know. I don't know what to compare him to. Like, I could compare him to, like, the dumbest animal on the planet, and I would still feel bad by comparing him to an animal. Like, oh my god, like, my head hurt. My head hurt just listening to him. Guys, be nice to this guy. He's obviously not very bright, and he just made himself look like an idiot, and he doesn't realize it. And, like, I really feel, like, dumb just by listening to him talk. Anyways, guys, I don't own the rights to this video. This is all Nick's footage. I just had to react to it because, man, oh man. Man, oh man. Man, oh man. Is there more to it? Like, I mean, there is more to it, but you know what? I don't know if I can anymore, guys. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to bitch at me in the comments below. I gotta go for now. That was too painful to watch. Peace out, guys.